All right, welcome back to the channel. And in today's video, we are going to talk about optimizing your Google Ads and your landing page together. So, hey, my name is DG Funnels. I help businesses grow online using sales funnels and other software. So, in a previous video, we talked about 13 ways that you can optimize your Google Ads to get better conversions. One of those methods, and one of the most important methods, was creating better synergy between your ad and your landing page. And so that's exactly what we're going to do today. So in the first minute of this video, I'm just going to kind of give you a rundown in terms of a landing page. I've looked at a couple of these, and then I'm going to walk you through what I would do different regarding creating that landing page. And then I'm actually going to make a landing page inside of Clickfunnels, so that way you all can take a look at it and see that exact process, see the type of things that I look for when I am creating these pages, and just kind of modeling based on what's out there. And if you follow this method, the beauty of it is that you don't really need to have any experience in that specific niche. So for example, as you can see here, I have TV mounting. I'm not going to pretend to be an expert on this, but literally just between a Google search and looking at a couple of pages, I can already get a really good idea in terms of what are the things that really resonate with people who are looking for this type of service. So if you're new to the channel, before I forget, make sure to subscribe. This is the type of stuff that we do all of the time on this channel, ways that you can just get more clients and customers online. Okay, so let's go ahead and jump right in. So I always start with a little bit of Google search, right? So as you can see here, I just type in TV mounting and I'm looking at the ads. So I already clicked through a couple of these to get an idea, of the things that reoccur, right? Reoccurring themes is always really important when doing your research. You want to be looking for that. So same day service is very important. Fast and reliable, of course, very important. You see here that it looks like in my area that the starting price in this for this particular service is about $69 to $64. So this is all good information here. Okay, so I'm going to kind of walk you through one of the landing pages that I saw that stuck out to me, and I'm going to highlight a couple of things as I scroll down this page. So one of the things that I noticed when I was clicking through the different landing pages is that all of them incorporated a picture of a person with the wall mount. So if you were doing something like this in your particular niche, and it doesn't necessarily have to be a service business, if you're selling a physical product, I mean, whatever you're doing in terms of running ads to that page, you want to look for reoccurring themes that your competitors are using, because the odds are is that those resonate with the traffic. So one of the reoccurring themes that I saw was that they all had a picture of a person holding a wall mount. This one happens to have a client in the picture, but some of the other ones didn't. So ideally you would have a picture of yourself holding a wall mount, doing the installation process. If you don't, just use a stock photo. As you'll see, I'm using a stock photo. Of course, it'll be better with your own, but go with what you have. They have the button here at the top. Okay, that's pretty cool. Now they have the service area here, which is fine. And then they say, here's the plan. So I thought this was pretty cool. They give you the 3 steps as far as what to expect. And then they talk a little bit about why this is the perfect option. So that's pretty cool there. And then they get into kind of like the hype, so this is what really separates us. This is why you want to work with us. Then they get into the brackets, which is cool. They cover the major brands that they work with. And then they have the customer reviews here closer to the bottom, and then they actually have a video testimonial. Now, personally, I would prefer to have these testimonials a lot higher in the page. That's my preference. If you've been following this channel for a while, you know that we like to rely heavily on testimonials because those are really the key selling point. So I personally would have these testimonials higher. But that's just my preference. And then we get here to the bottom. Now my picture is blocking this, but you probably can see that it says stay connected, and then there's an email field, and then there's a subscribe button. Now personally, I would not have a subscribe button on a landing page that I'm running an ad to, because the purpose of the landing page is that we want the customer to take one specific action. And so this could kind of confuse them, because on one end I'm saying book now, then at the bottom subscribe. So I really don't want them to subscribe when I'm sending an ad. Now, if this is just my regular homepage, and maybe they use this as a homepage as well, then I'm okay with having a subscribe button there. But on an ad, if I'm running an ad, I don't want them to take any other action than the whole reason why I'm running that ad, which is just for, in this case, for them to book now. Okay. So overall, I mean, good page here. This is something cool that we can definitely model our page after. And another thing that I want to point out that I noticed when I was doing my research is that a lot of these companies use like a blue slash maybe tealish color. That was also a theme as well. And these are the things that you want to keep an eye out. What type of colors are they using? Because the odds are is that they probably tested these colors, or maybe whoever, if they didn't do it, build this site, whoever built this site who has clients similar to them, they've tested these colors, and these appear to be the ones that help convert. So typically it's a lot of the little things. All right. So now here you see we're back into the in the ClickFunnels editor, and I'm just going to walk you through how we would recreate a page like that, how you can recreate a page like that easily utilizing a software like ClickFunnels. There are other softwares out there. It's just my personal preference in terms of what I use. But how you can easily recreate something like that. Okay. So remember, we want to create synergy between our ads. So what did our ads say? Our ad said same day TV installation, same day mounting service. Okay. So same day TV mounting and installation. Let's put service, right? Okay. And then right here, I had the service area. I just left it blank just so that, you know, you guys can fill that into your mind. And then we have the same day service starting at, right? And then we have our price. Now, remember I said that their buttons were blue. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to change the color on this button. You see I have some teal options loaded there, but we can go with, let's see here. Let's go with, we don't want to, remember, you always want to be mindful of your contrast in relation to the picture. So as you can see here, I have like a grayscale over that picture. So you want to make sure that this button pops. So see here, if we go too dark, the button really doesn't pop. So I probably wouldn't use blue. I may do something like that. I may go with the teal. And then what I would play with on this button is that I'm going to play with my colors. So I'm going to look at the font color and say, you know, maybe going with a black font color, maybe the way to go there, or something like that, right? So again, you would just want to come out and play with this until you found something that you felt comfortable with. And I would definitely, you know, I want to bump up my font size as well. Okay, so I'm there, you know, book now, boom, we got that on the page. Okay, and then remember they had a how it works section too, right? So we would keep that pretty close to the top. So we're going how it works, step 1, step 2, step 3. And if you all need icons, I would highly recommend flaticon.com. You can go there and grab icons for free. That's what I would do. I'd just grab some icons that corresponded with the service, and I would just offer those up. I would grab those, and then I would just put those right here in the funnel. And again, how it works, step 1, 2, 3. So if we go down and take a look at it, right, they call it, here's the plan. You guys can get as creative as you want as well, which I would recommend. I thought that this was pretty cool. And I would say do the same thing. So I like that they're promoting booking online, right? So we may change this, right? If we're competing and we want to offer the same thing, we want to say book online as well, right? So book online. I like sit back and relax. Maybe we say, you know, hang out and chill, right? And then step 3, they said enjoy total peace of mind. But now we want to say, you know, let's say enjoy your newly mounted TV. Now, I would definitely play with the phrasing of this, because if these are all a single line, we want this to be a single line as well, so it doesn't throw. So maybe we just delete newly and just say enjoy your mounted TV. Boom. All right. So we could do something like that. Okay. And then we go down to this next section. Now I noticed, and you all may have noticed this as well when we were scrolling through, they just do a subtle off-white in between sections. So they're not doing just white. You could see there's a very subtle shift here. And so I did something similar to that in terms of modeling this. Now here they're saying this is the perfect TV setup with custom installation. Okay, and then they talk about cord concealment, surround sound, the sound bar, as well as Apple TV, right? So this is where we're going to deviate a little bit. So I would deviate a little bit because I don't want to go too far without my testimonials. So I would deviate by putting my testimonials up here. And again, these could be video testimonials. These could be written testimonials. They could be screenshots from Yelp or Facebook. I mean, wherever you have them, just screenshot them and put them there. I'm actually going to just clone this button really quick and move that down because I don't feel like messing around with the color on the button. And I like to show you some of the little subtle things that you can do in here that'll save you some time. So we go ahead and we just clone that and we move it down. Okay. So again, we're going to put our testimonials here, and then now we can go back and kind of talk about things like the perfect TV setup. And so they said you're in good hands. We could say something like, something like the best in my area. Hold on, let's see, the best TV. Let's see, installation service in South Florida, right? And then here we can get into kind of like our hype. Oops, sorry, one page. We can get into our hype. So you see here they have how many things? They have 7 things. So on this page here, I have 4. And so what I would say is clone this and maybe you do 8, right? Squeeze out one more, right? So squeeze out one more. Again, for these icons, you can go to flaticon.com to check that out. And that's what I would do. I would just grab icons and I would throw those here. Okay. And then this section is where I have some company information, some the map, location, etc. So what I would do just to kind of stick with the theme here, and oops, sorry, I keep clicking the wrong page, but just maybe to mix it up too. So this is where they talked about the custom installation, and then this is where they talked about bracketing, and then they talked about the brands. So what I would do now is that I would basically just go ahead and I would clone, I would actually clone these 2 things. Okay, so I would clone this right here, this headline, and then I would just move that down a little bit, and then I would clone this row. Okay, and then I'm going to put that here, and now this row can be my row where we talked about we maybe will say the row, the most robust custom installation, custom installation options, right? Actually, we won't put the most. Let's just put robust custom installation options. And then here is where we'll talk about stuff like, right, we'll talk about Apple TV. We'll talk about, what they say, cord concealment. All right, don't laugh at my spelling. I didn't even come close to that. Oh, man. Duh. Man, that's embarrassing. We're going to let it ride, though. I'm not going to edit that out. We're just going to let that ride. Surround sound. All right. Man, exposing myself here, right? And then what was the last thing? Soundbar, right? So shelf and soundbar. So we'll put soundbar, right? So we'll throw icons on there. We'll talk about that. And right, so here we have the best installation. We have that. We have our robust options. And then again, they talked about the brands. So I would go ahead and clone this again. I'm going to bump it down one section. I'm going to clone this row again, and I'll move that down one section. And then I would just say the same thing, right? We work with all the major brands. Okay. And then for brand icons, all you would want to do is just Google it. You know, you could Google Sony icon. You could Google Samsung icon. I think they have Vizio, right? So you could Google Vizio icons. I mean, whatever. Let's see. They worked with a lot of people, right? Yeah. So Google it, put it on there. And then all you have to do is copy and paste the icon for this particular brand. Now, if you don't want to do the words, that's fine. You could just delete the words and just put the brand picture there like they did. So you could always just put the brand logo there and delete the name, which is probably what I would do as well. And just put all of the major brands that you work with. That's totally fine. You can definitely do something like that. And then we get into more like a little bit of a company information section. Truth be told, because we're running ads to this, I would actually probably completely get rid of this at the bottom, because again, we only want them to take one action, right? And so I would tweak this here, and this is where I would actually put the service area. So let's say that we wanted to do a map, then probably what I would do is I would just change this to, let's see, I would just do something like, I would just do a 1-column row, and I would just put this here, and we would just say, proudly that's it. I would just do something like this, and then I would drag this map up here and put it underneath, and then I would actually get rid of this. Well, hold on one second. I would keep this button, so I'll show you this again. I'll just drag this button up here, and I'm going to go ahead and delete this row. I'm going to center this button. So if you ever need to do that, here it is, button alignment. You're just going to make it center, and I'm not going to bother changing the color, all that. You guys know how to do that. And so that's what I would do. So I would put the service area map here, and I would put that there, and then I would have the book now button again. Okay. You may need to have some privacy policy stuff. So actually what I would do is I'd just do one more section here at the very bottom, and I would add one more row, and this is just where I would put my privacy policy stuff, just to make sure that I'm compliant. So what I'll do is, I'm not going to drag everything over. I'll just put a little headline here, and then I'll just, so you can have a visual. So those are really the only links that you have, even though I'm going to go back to their page. You know, interesting enough, they don't even have privacy policy information there. So, I mean, whatever, if you could get away with it, I probably would still do it, especially in certain states. Like if I was in California, I would definitely want to have my privacy policy information there. But yeah, so that's where I would put that stuff. And those would literally be the only links on this page aside from that. And that's pretty much it, you know. So this is what our landing page would look like essentially. Okay, so we'll get it to load now. As you can see there, we got a picture of our buddies doing the installation and the mounting. We got our book now button. We're going to tell them how it works. We're going to talk about all of our raving fans. We're going to tell them about why we're the best in South Florida, robust customization options. We work with all the major brands, and then proudly serving all of South Florida. Again, this doesn't have to be an actual map. As a matter of fact, I wouldn't use an actual map. I would do just like they did with the map outline of the service area, so that way people can get a visual. And then again, we have our privacy policy links. Now, one of the cool things that I liked about this particular funnel setup is that this or landing page setup, I should say, this landing page will look really good on mobile as well, because everything is basically a one column row, essentially. Or when you get into like these icons, these are 4 column rows. So this is all going to display very, very well when it comes to the vertical scrolling that you would see on that you would experience on mobile. As far as the only things that I'm kind of looking at here is button placement. So we have one button here, and then we have 2 sections and a button. I would probably, I would put a button. I would put another button right here under customization options, because you always want to make sure that they never really have to scroll back up. And so I would probably put a button right here under customization options. That way it's there and it's available to them. And then we have our last button there at the bottom. Okay. And that's pretty much it. Now, again, one thing that I just want to mention to you is that this is not meant to be a home page or anything else like that. This is literally designed to do one thing, which is convert your leads at a higher percentage, or convert your traffic at a higher percentage and turn them into leads. So you may be saying, oh, but there's information missing and this or that and the other. The only information that matters on this page is what is it going to take to get that person to click this book now button and give you the information that you need. So if you have an online kind of booking service or a widget or something else like that, the way that I would do that is that we would go ahead and collect the email address as this first step. They would click book now, a pop-up would come down, they'd input their name and their email, and then on that next page, that thank you page, is where we would redirect them to the actual booking service. And the reason why we want to do that is because once we collect their name and email, now we can send them email marketing follow-up sequences and different things like that, reminding them to book if they haven't already booked, the sale, building up their know, like, and trust of the business. Okay, so that's why I would set it up this way and push them to whatever booking service on the back end. But that pretty much covers the video. That is how you would go about optimizing your Google ad and your landing page together. If you like this video, make sure to hit that subscribe button. That way you can get notifications every time I release new content like this. And if you would like to check out the 13 Google optimization hacks that your competitors don't want you to know exist, that is going to be this video right here. And the video on the other side is actually going to be my Google Ads framework, where I break down 3 different types of Google Ads. If that video has not been released yet, then definitely make sure that you subscribe, so that way when it is, you can get a notification that it is available. And in the meantime, if you are interested, there is a link in the description below where you can go ahead and get access to those frameworks and start playing around with it now. So that pretty much covers it. Thanks again. And until the next time, peace.